Hi everyone, welcome to our daily word. A few days ago, I saw this sentence on a friend post. It says, Ezekiel sees bones, but God sees an army. And I've been thinking about this for the past few days, or it's been stuck in my head for a few days. This prophetic vision is recorded in Ezekiel chapter 37, verse 1 to 14. Let's read them. The hand of the Lord was upon me, and he brought me out by the Spirit of the Lord and set me in the middle of a valley. It was full of bones. He led me back and forth among them, and I saw a great many bones on the floor of the valley, bones that were very dry. He asked me, Son of man, can these bones live? I said, O sovereign Lord, you alone know. Then he said to me, Prophesy to these bones and say to them, Dry bones, hear the word of the Lord. This is what the sovereign Lord says to these bones. I will make bread unto you, and you will come to life. I will attach tendons to you and make flesh come upon you and cover you with skin. I will put breath in you and you will come to life, and you will know that I am the Lord. So I prophesied and was commanded. And I was prophesying, there was a noise, a rattling noise, sound, and the bones came together, bone to bone. I looked, and tendons and flesh appeared on them, and skin covered them, but there was no breath in them. Then he said to me, Prophesy to the bread, prophesy, Son of man, and say to it, This is what the sovereign Lord says. Come from the four winds, O bread, and breathe into this land, that they may live. So I prophesied as he commanded me, and breath entered them. They came to life and stood up on their feet, a vast army. Then he said to me, Son of man, these bones are the whole house of Israel. They say, Our bones are dried up, and our hope is gone. We are cut off. Therefore prophesy and say to them, This is what the sovereign Lord says. O my people, I am going to open your grave and bring you up from them. I will bring you back to the land of Israel. Then you, my people, will know that I am the Lord when I open your grave and bring you up from them. I will put my spirit in you, and you will live, and I will settle you in your own land. Then you will know that I, the Lord, have spoken, and I have done it, declares the Lord. Ezekiel had this dream when the people of Israel were at a very dark time in the history. They had been exiled, their temple had been destroyed, its treasure taken away, and with their captivity seemed to have no end in sight. It seems as a nation they have come to an end, and they felt hopeless. In the midst of this, God gave Ezekiel a startling vision, brought him to a valley full of bones, and explained to him that these bones are the people of Israel, and that he will resurrect them, and promised to bring them back to their own land and re-establish his people. When we encounter difficulty and hard times, it is easy to focus on the obstacle and the problem and despair. In verse 3, when God asks Ezekiel, Son of man, can this bones live? It seems there's a sense of uncertainty and powerlessness in Ezekiel's response to the question, because all he could see around him is just dry bones. And I think most of us feel that when we experience losses and hardship, doubt and uncertainty creeps into our life, making us to question God's goodness and faithfulness. It makes it difficult for us to see God's promise. About 3 weeks or so, I was at a very low point in my life. A lot of things in my life seem to be going wrong. Health issues, challenges, and setback in my finances, spiritual and emotional. I was drained. It was challenging. I felt like my life situation is a bunch of dry bones. Like Ezekiel, I could see only dry bones around me. I feel powerless. I feel at some time I feel hopeless. I struggle to pray or read Bible, or even when I read Bible, it just feels empty. It was a battle every day. We may encounter difficult days and situations in our life where we feel powerless and when all hope seems lost. But I encourage you, don't give up, because God never takes his eye off his children. He can make the dry bones come to life. God can make dead things come to life. God's power is absolutely limitless, and he desires to restore you because you are his child and he loves you. It might not happen the way you wanted or expected, but you can be sure God will keep His promise, all of them. God will never leave you alone in the valley of dry bones. He will bring you to the promised land. So I encourage you, continue to hold on to Jesus. Continue to read and meditate His Word, even when it is difficult, even when you don't feel like reading it. For it is the Word and it is His bread that gives hope and brings life. It will sustain you and carry you through difficult and challenging time. And it will help you to see His promises and His goodness every day. So today I pray that you will experience and encounter God's goodness in a tangible way. May God's blessing be upon you today. Have a wonderful day.